Hello artists! This week we are going to look closely at a painting called The Tree of Life. It was painted by an artist named Gustav Klimt. He was an Austrian painter and he lived until the year 1918. A student asked me yesterday if he had died from the Spanish flu because that was the year that we've had the last pandemic about 100 years ago. I wasn't so sure, so I looked it up and I found out that was a contributing factor to his death. He was known for work that had a lot of gold in it, gold leaf it was called, and he was also known for repetitive patterns. So I will show you today how you can get started painting your own tree of life. So before we get started, you may want to cover your area underneath you that you're going to be painting on because we will be using acrylic paint. So you want to make sure, maybe if you have a smock, you can throw that on. Just cover anything you wouldn't want to get paint on. And you don't need water because we're only going to be using the gold paint. So make sure you have your gold paint and your paintbrush. And as you look at this painting, The Tree of Life, I want you to really focus on the spirals because that's what we are going to be doing today. We are going to be painting the tree part of it and really focusing on making spirals. We will be working on the patterns next week. A mural is a large painting or piece of art that's painted directly on a wall or attached permanently to a wall, and the Tree of Life is part of a larger mural. So you'll notice my paper is the horizontal way because I find that having your paper this way leaves you more room to put more spirals and branches on. So you'll see I'm starting with the tree trunk, and I started by painting 2 lines in the middle, filling them in. And as I paint in the trunk and move up towards the top of the paper, I'm going to start adding spirals immediately. I find it helps me to look at Klimt's painting while I'm painting mine, so I can really get ideas of how to move around those spirals. And as I continue to move up the tree trunk, I continue to add spirals. And you want to think about the trunk is going to be thicker than the thickness of your spirals. And you can see I start adding spirals coming off of other spirals. And they can be all different sizes. We had practiced making different kinds of spirals last week, so this is why we were practicing. So you'll become an expert at making interesting spirals. So I can even go back into other spaces and start to add more spirals in some of the spaces that I want to fill in a little more. Sometimes I paint my spirals over a second time just so the gold will really show up a little more. I decided to use my choice as an artist, or what I like to call my artistic license, and I decided I wanted the tree roots to be spirals as well. You can try this too if you'd like. So fill your page with spirals and branches and have fun with this. You'll see I started playing around with color and pattern a little, but we are going to work on that more next week. So this week, just focus on getting your gold paint on your paper with as many spirals as possible. Enjoy painting your masterpieces, artists. See you soon.